Good morning, everyone. Today we're joined by Rachel Markham from Charities.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today. We wanted to get Rachel here because we support Charities through a few initiatives with the business networking and things, and also I'm running the London Marathon for them in April this year. So I wanted to really showcase what the charity is all about. So I think firstly, Rachel, do you want to go into detail what the charity is, what Charities does, and what initiatives you've got?
Yeah, I mean, Charities is 150 years old in 2026, so we've been around for an awfully long time. But I think because of the nature of our work, not necessarily everybody knows about us. That's definitely something we're trying to change. But since Victorian times, we've been working in Leicester supporting people in financial hardship. And our aim is still the same as it was all those years ago, which is trying to improve lives of people in hardship and crisis. And we do that through the provision of essential items, which is very much on an individual basis, but it's items that fortunately a lot of us are able to take for granted, but things like clothing. So we provide a lot of school uniforms, boots, winter coats, things like that, fridges, cookers, washing machines, beds, all those essentials that if you don't have them, they really impact on your quality of life. So we're all about trying to improve health, well-being and dignity of local people in financial hardship. And we started our work in Leicester, but we now work throughout Leicestershire, Rutland and Northamptonshire.
Can you share a story of someone whose life's been changed then for the work that the charity does?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Charities, we help around 5,000 people every year. So we're not short of client stories to share, unfortunately. But we have an e-newsletter that goes out each month, and we always share some client stories, and there's lots on our website as well. But we shared one which really struck home with the team. If you think the team are working with people in all sorts of circumstances all the time, but there are certain client stories that really jump out. And I think it hit me because I think we tend to think that people perhaps have one bit of bad luck and they've had their share of bad luck. But for a lot of the people that we help, they face challenge after challenge. And so Bree was a lady who her dad was murdered when she was 6 years old. So right from the start, she obviously was facing huge challenges. Struggled through school, had some mental health challenges, but managed to get through school, and life was sort of looking up. She got a job, she had a partner, she had a home, but things sort of caught up with her a little bit and things fell apart, and she really struggled with her mental health, and it meant that she lost everything. So she lost her partner, she lost her job, she lost her home. And it's often like that, you lose everything. And then she was on her bike and she was hit. So she ended up in hospital, serious injuries, bleed on the brain. She got support to kind of get her back, and she got a tenancy, but we often find that people are given tenancies, and if they don't have any family and friends to support them, they don't have any savings, people end up trying to restart their lives, but without those basic items. So not a bed to sleep in, not a cooker to prepare a hot meal, not a fridge to keep and it's not only food, we have a lot of people who need to keep medicine as well. So Charities was able to step in and provide a number of essential items to help Bree get back on her feet.
Yeah.
And I think, we're talking about 5,000 people, which is a huge number. But if you think that's 5,000 people with a story, not necessarily as hard as Bree's, but people going through all sorts of things. And Charities is there to give people a helping hand when they most need it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that we help are being supported by other charities. So Charities works with 250 other charities and organisations, and they refer clients to us. So clients may be getting support in other ways. So it might be help with budgeting or health support, or we help a lot of victims of domestic abuse, all sorts of things. But yeah, Charities there to step in, because the belief is if you don't have those essential items, it's very hard to move forward to a better future. So you can get lots of support in other areas, but those essential items are crucial to helping you move forward. So that's what Charities is there to provide. So I think most of us, if we knew Bree's story, would want to lend support. And say we're helping around 5,000 people like that every year.
That's amazing, really. So from a success perspective then, numbers and statistics are always going to be there, but this one really does resonate with helping across the other charities and supporting Bree getting back on track and really bringing her back up to where you want her to be as well.
Yeah, and a huge part of what Charity Link does, and our success, if you like, is working in partnership. That's something that we've always done. And, you know, it's a tough time for charities at the moment. We're there to support each other, and we want to, in the end, make the biggest difference for that person. I think working in collaboration with other charities is a way to make, you know, the money most effective and do the most for people who need it. So we support people, all ages, all backgrounds, all ethnicities, to help them when they need it. So yeah, all sorts of people that we support.
So at the moment then, what's, I suppose, the biggest challenges that you've got as a charity?
Like most charities, is getting the money in, which I've been with the charity for 11 years, and it's probably the toughest that I've seen it. There are a lot of charities out there that are folding, that they just can't afford. You know, like everyone else, overheads have increased, and, you know, businesses, individuals are feeling the pinch a little bit, so they're perhaps thinking about their charitable giving a little bit. So that is hard. So as a charity that's been going for 150 years, we're used to innovation, adapting, changing with the times. And I think the team, we're a small team, there's only about sort of 16 of us, but we're as passionate as ever about making sure that we can continue for as long as we needed. We've been quite careful about not saying that we're celebrating our 150th birthday, because we'd love to not be needed anymore. But actually, if you think over the last few years, we've had COVID, we've had the cost of living crisis that we're still in. We're needed as much as we were in those Victorian times. And I think we sometimes reflect on what the people starting the charity were thinking, that we're still needed in these days, but we certainly are. So I think as a charity, we're continually looking at different income streams to make sure we're not reliant on one area, and that certainly came to a fore for a lot of charities over COVID, where fundraising pretty much, you know, stopped and events suddenly weren't happening anymore. At Charity Link, we're quite a unique charity. We have lots of different things happening. So we have a trust administration service, which other charities and not-for-profits can tap into that service, and we help with things like governance and clerkship and management for other small charities, and that's a paid-for service with profits that feed back in to support our core work. And in 2019, we also set up a social enterprise called the Goods Depot, which now provides our beds and white goods for our clients, but is also now providing those items for other charities and housing associations and different organisations. So the idea is that's going to continue to grow, and again, any profits from that feedback to create a sustainable income stream for the charity. So we do all the regular things, so, you know, the individual fundraising, like running marathons and those things for crazy people like you. Obviously, we have the business club as well, the TC group are a gold member of, which is, you know, massive for us, because that provides a regular monthly income stream for us. So that's brilliant. We run events, and we do all sorts to make sure that, you know, we're doing as much as possible to meet the need. You know, and the need is massive at the moment. So obviously the need to raise funds is massive, but just to have that blanket that we're not going to one place for the money, that we've got lots of different ways to do it. But, you know, we still hugely rely on businesses and individuals, as most charities do, to help us continue what we're doing, and we wouldn't be able to do it without, you know, getting that support.
I think that's what resonated with me, because I've been known you for about 18 months now, I think it was, at the breakfast room. And when you did the 10-minute presentation on what Charity Link is all about, as soon as you mentioned it, I thought that's absolutely something we want to do sort of locally, because I know that the membership for Gold, is it £1,500?
£1,200, so it's sort of £100 a month,
Yes, but that £1,200 over the year equates to X amount of thousand in sort of goods value, doesn't it? That you can then deliver to people that really need it. So actually that, what in essence is quite a small amount, transpires to quite a large delivery that you can support those people with.
Makes a massive difference. So just to explain that, Charity Link's quite unique in the way that we work, in that we untap funds from charitable trusts for people in need. So I give Children in Need as an example as a charitable trust, which most people know of, but there are hundreds, and some of them have been set up in Victorian times, some are more modern. And our casework team are really expert in, when we've, the way it works is we get an application from a client, and I say that referral usually comes from another charity and organisation. And our team is really expert at knowing which charitable trust to go for funding for that person. So we act a bit like a broker on that client's behalf.
Yeah.
So we'll do an application for a charitable trust, and sometimes it can be that the client has worked in a particular industry in their past that has a charitable trust. Sometimes we go to one charitable trust for the money that we need. Sometimes we have to go for 5, 10. Sometimes things like mobility scooters are very expensive, so we normally have to go to a number of different places. But basically, we untap the funds that we need and bring that in, and that's completely ring-fenced for a particular item or items for that person. But that way of working, basically, we can bring in 5 times as much as it costs to run the service. So we promote that for every £10 that someone gives or raises, we can untap £50 worth of essential items.
Yeah.
So it's massive, and people, love that. We talk about, I think people want to think what difference they're making.
Yeah.
So we talk about things like if somebody raises £35 for us, that's enough for us to provide a bed for a child, which is massive. And I think a lot of people like myself, when I joined the charity, I had no idea about the need out there. And so much of it goes on behind closed doors, which at the start I talked about. A lot of people perhaps haven't heard of Charity Link. And I think that's because there's still stigma around poverty and hardship. So our clients don't necessarily go out and shout about the support that they've had from us.
Yeah.
And the work that we do goes on, behind closed doors a lot of the time.
Yeah.
We get it, we deliver the item, but we know from the feedback that we get of the massive difference that it makes to those individuals or families. And again, I think if you think about a child that doesn't have a bed of their own, it's hugely common. It's not something that we hardly ever see. It's something that we're seeing every week. So if someone knows that they can, I think sometimes people think for a charity they have to do something massive or it's not worthwhile doing, and really want to get the message across that you can do, every pound really does matter.
Yeah.
But if you think of, can I challenge myself to, raise £35, or can a business join the business club, we can tell them what they'll be able to provide for that support that they're doing. And I think it's really nice, particularly for a team in a business, to think, as a team we've been able to provide 10 beds this year or something like that. It's huge when you think about it.
And that's what we tell the guys here is, as part of this, we can supply, I don't know, £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 worth of goods value just by being part of the club. And then whatever else we do, it transpires into X amount of, I don't know, a washing machine or a bed or whatever that looks like. That's why we wanted to be a part of it.
And it just shows as well how much luck's involved with charity fundraising as well, of meeting you on the day when you were thinking about that as well. It's, you never know who you're going to meet and what's going to, resonate with them. And so that's why we try to promote Charity Link all the time. We want more people to know of us, so that hopefully if they're thinking of charitable support or just to know of us, and also want more people to know that we're there in case they're in connection with people who might need support or know of an organisation that can refer clients into us as well.
Yeah, that's really nice. So just going back a couple of steps then, from behind the scenes of the charity, what does a typical day look like?
A typical day? I mean, in the team, it's a regular thing. We have a small admin team that will get the calls and applications from the other charities for people. And that's processed. It tends to come into the admin team, gets put on the system. Our caseworkers will then start the process of assessing it, checking people are eligible. Obviously, we go through checking people's budgets and that the need is genuine. But once that process is done, we'll start trying to raise the funds from the charitable trusts, liaising with the goods depot. So it's then a case of ordering the items. So the goods depot van, keep a lookout for it. Out and about in Leicestershire, Rutland and Northamptonshire, delivering items to people. I'm marketing and fundraising manager, so my days there's not a typical day, which is what I love. So it can be, particularly during this year and the 150th, we've got lots of special activities. So we've got a birthday ball happening. We have our Leicestershire Three Peaks every year in each September that we organise. It can be speaking to business supporters, individual donors, going to networking events or doing presentations to try to raise awareness of the charity, all sorts of things, which I love, and it's really exciting, and it's never a dull moment, to put it like that. But a lovely small dedicated team as well, so it's a really nice place to work. So there was a joke when I started that you either sort of it's very short, or you stay for a long time. And we've got people that have worked for Charity Link for sort of 35 years. So
Wow.
it's I think that's testament to what a lovely place it is to work, and how nice it is working for, you know, an organisation that's doing such an important thing. It helps you get up of a Monday morning, that's for sure.
Don't have that Sunday night feeling.
No.
So 150 years, I know we spoke about this briefly just before we started discussing it on the podcast. So you've been working on the timeline of where it started and flowing it through, trying to fit it onto 2 pages, but it's a lot bigger. But take us back to, I suppose, well, now you know a bit more about it as well from going way back, but take us back to how it really was starting, because I know you had some quite interesting pieces there, that there was a lot of different businesses and people that were involved in different areas.
Yeah, it's got an amazing history, and we've got an attic where our office is based in Leicester City Centre, and we had a royal visit in 2024 by the Duke of Gloucester, and as part of that process we got some of the archive books out, and I think that started the whole process. And just seeing, you know, clients written, you know, handwritten, and the beautiful writing and the bound books and things like that. But yeah, Charity Link was basically started by business people. Our original name was Leicester Charity Organisation Society. So in Victorian times, a lot of these societies were started to support the poor and the poor in Leicester. And we have a great photo in the office. So anyone who knows Leicester, there's it used to be I think the county hall, but it's called the City Rooms now, so it's an event venue. So we have this amazing photo of business people sat outside the City Rooms, what is now the City Rooms in Leicester City Centre, and it's amazing looking at the clothing and picturing it. But yeah, since those days it's all been about supporting poor people in Leicester, which we don't say poor people anymore, people in hardship and crisis. But just going back to some of the stories, and obviously we've supported people through Spanish flu, 2 world wars, all these moments of history. If you think, you know, Queen Victoria was on the throne, and there's things like we helped somebody set up as a window cleaner, and we helped him buy 2 ladders and some chamois leathers. A long time ago. And there was I think the council were building some new housing estates, and a lot of people were moved out of the city into these housing estates, but the children were going through their shoes and boots much more quickly because the roads were rougher.
Right, okay.
So during that time we helped a lot more in that area. So we provided a lot of shoes and boots, and just all those tales like that of, I mean, the basic stories are exactly the same as they are today, you know, of people falling on hard times. Or we help a lot of people with mental health issues, chronic health issues, where you know, people can't work, struggling families that are just juggling, you know, that heating and eating thing, which is still the same. And a lot of the people that we support are, you know, can manage day to day. We help a lot of working families. You know, there's assumption that everybody that we help is on benefits, not working. A lot of the people that we support at the moment are working families, but particularly when an item breaks, there's no savings or no way without getting into debt to be able to afford those items.
Right.
So that's where we step in. And really it's the same, you know, what we're doing, the essence of what we're doing is exactly the same as what we were doing in 1876. As I say, we'd love to not be needed anymore, but we can't see that happening anytime soon.
No.
But yeah, it's a fascinating look back, particularly of Leicester. And I encourage people to go onto our website, and we've got a special 150th area. One of our trustees who's been involved with the charity, or 3-4 generations of her family have been involved with Charity Link through different names, and you know, it's fascinating. But she's written a booklet basically about Leicester in 1876 to link in with our birthday, which people can download from the website. And again, just the whole history of Leicester. And I think Charity Link is so integral to that, which people perhaps don't realise. A lot of people know of Loros, for example. Loros started out of our offices in the 80s.
Oh, wow, okay.
They had a massive fundraising campaign and have gone on, and obviously most people know of Loros now, and has gone on to do amazing things and is, you know, so vital to our local community. But so many organisations that we've been linked to through our long history. It's really fascinating. So yeah, part of what I've been doing is going through the archives, and as you say, trying to pick out moments in those 150 years, and then just getting buried and fascinated. And a job that should take me half an hour, I'm there 4 hours later, sort of reading up
reading all the archives.
Yeah, we're looking to share lots of that information during the year. But yeah, it's you know, amazing what the charity's done, and I hope that the people who set the charity up all those years ago will be really proud of, you know, what we've accomplished over all those years.
No, that's lovely. So I think then, just to wrap up, for listeners who do want to help, what's the most meaningful first step they can take?
Get in touch with us, I'd say. We're a charity that loves to work on an individual basis, whether that's, you know, a business, an individual, an organisation, really just to find out what kind of thing they want to do. So obviously people can get involved in the running and the different challenges, come and support event. We have events going on all through the year. For businesses, say the business club is a really easy way for businesses to make a regular difference, and also there's PR opportunities as being part of the club. So you know, we'd love to grow that club this year. But, you know, no matter the size of an organisation or business, as I was saying before, don't feel that you won't be able to do enough, because everything is enough. And it's not all about fundraising, it's helping us spread the word. So it could be having some of our newsletters like you do here, having them out on reception to help spread the word of what we do. So I think the first step, we'd just love to hear from you, you know, to get in touch with the charity and then have a conversation about, you know, what you're perhaps say trying to get out of a charity partnership, love all the traditional charity of the year, or if the team want to do fundraising, we can give ideas and support that activity. It might be an individual that wants to do something, but yeah, just, you know, everything will help. Say raise £10, that's £50 worth of essential items that we can provide. Signing up for our newsletter, so that, you know, you want to have a look at what we do, and we always share events and opportunities in there, so that's a great way to keep finding out about what the charity is doing, and then there perhaps be something that piques your interest. But yeah, love to more business members, people coming to the events this year and just sharing, you know, everyone listening can tell someone else about us. It would make a massive difference, because I do think we're a little bit of a hidden gem. And we want to change that. And we're hoping our 150th birthday is a platform for us to shout a bit more about the work that we're doing, so that we're around for, you know, as many years as we're needed.
No, that's lovely. I think, well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm not quite 150. I might look it, but not quite.
Happy birthday to the Charity Link. And yeah, thank you for sharing the story of Charity Link. I think it's, especially when this goes out, it'll be in the 150th year, and hopefully people will start getting in touch and sharing. Just
massive thank you to you, and good luck for April. And,
thank you.
Imagining running 26 miles is, just
it'll be
good
all right.
luck.
It'll be all right on the day. Thank you.